is faulty. The falsehood will tell you facts aren't factual actually.
From the mystery font, it's time to make a call. I'm here in the imagination of democracy at the font, and where better from for me to make a call today. This is my second call.
Congressman Omar's office, how can I help you?
Hello, my name is Tim Cameron. I'm a citizen and I'm in Minneapolis. And I'm just really concerned about what's moving forward with Russ Vogt. I think he should not be confirmed. I think also that any delay of any kind or halt to this catastrophic shutdown is entirely necessary, and I urge her to do all that she can. I think we should consider it nothing less than sabotage, that we're dealing with an attack to catastrophize our systems, that we're dealing with bad faith actors, and that it looks like an entrenchment of the Confederacy itself. And so I urge peaceful action to be taken while it can, because our basic systems are being looted. And I think I just urge like our basic right to be advised so we can consent. Like the basic structures. Right now we're in a situation that would only happen if at war. And so it seems that the Ku Klux Klan is maybe just unmasking, but that's not safe, and it's crime. So I'm concerned that we're not clocking that we've submitted. That when someone says we'll keep you in suspense, that's not leadership. That's bad faith action. And then I think while we can, we should hold it accountable peacefully. And thanks for anything that can be done to assure that we do have protection for diversity, equity, and inclusion, because we are a spectrum of humanity.
Okay, I can definitely take that message. Can I please just have your name, address, and email?
Yep. My name is Tim Cameron. And that was one call, one added to one, 2 of 3 calls. Well, here we go.
Hi, it's Senator Tina Smith. Thank you for contacting my office. If you are a Minnesota resident and would like to leave a comment or opinion, please press 1. If you would like to speak with a member of my staff, please press 2. Press star to repeat these options. And thank you and have a great day. Hi, it's Senator Tina Smith. Thank you for contacting my office. If you are a Minnesota resident and would like to leave a comment or opinion, please press 1. If you would like to speak with a member of my staff, please press 2. Press star to repeat these options. Wait while I transfer your call. Senator Smith's office.
Hello, thanks for taking my call. My name is Tim Cameron. I'm from Minneapolis. And I just urge the senator to take any and all action to stop what's happening from the OMB and to delay that or stop it entirely. Also to stop any forward movement with Russ Vogt. He is a bad faith actor. And I think ultimately just to say that we're dealing with bad faith actors, that we're dealing with the Confederacy, and if we don't deal with it in a way that's peaceful and very clear immediately, we're looking to be farmed. And I think there's like an abdication that's happening in sort of our fight or flight, resulting in freeze as a collective. That the new Colossus is supposed to mean that we can pull together and deal with tyranny, and that's what's happening. That I think the promise to keep us in suspense shouldn't have been allowed to happen again. But we're dealing with, destabilization after demoralization, and now we're moving through stages that we can stop. And so I'm urging peaceful approaches to taking that in hand immediately. I think that arresting bad faith actors is something that should have been talked about when he said he would keep us in suspense a long time ago.
Got it. Yeah, well, we'll pass the message on to the senator. Thanks so much for calling today.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. That was one more. These are not fun. These are not fun. It's an interesting tear of hokum here. We're definitely dealing with bad faith actors. And shock and terror upon trust because there are some people who definitely did trust Donald Trump. And we're definitely dealing with brown shirts. We're dealing with the cowardice of the Ku Klux Klan, needing not to let one person go. It's a pathetic tale of the cowardice of the Ku Klux Klan. We're not really going forward in time. We're cementing ourselves again to crimes from the past. We can do better than that. How do we recognize the projections and weigh the validity? Baseless claims. Things like this should stand out, I think. And shocking boundary violations that compromise or constrict or disarm or withhold from can start small or may start in your crotch. Someone may grab you or claim they can do so by your private parts. And baseless claims of different varieties may be easy to overlook. But we're dealing with shocking boundary violations to flummox us and to terrorize. We're dealing with brown shirts in office. It's terrifying because they're terrorizing. And betrayal trauma is Betrayal trauma is where we are. Maria Konnikova says, it's not true to say you can't con an honest person. It's not true that you can't con an honest person. You can definitely con honest people. It's about trust. And we shouldn't think that we have to squirrel trust away. It's okay. In fact, it's necessary to keep finding light, consciousness of conscience, creating destabilization, and creating essentially a state of attack, a state of trauma or worry. We should not be menaced. We should not be hearing scapegoating from our government to members of our communities. Well, Scoop Troop, I think Darvo is kind of what we're looking at. Again and again, Donald decides that things that he has just learned about belong to the things he just learned he already owns, or the things he needs to get out of his way. He will deny and attack and reverse victim and offender. Darvo, if we were to assemble, what would it look like? To have a readout. It doesn't have to be on all the time. But to be able to bring it up and it's difficult. It's difficult. I find it difficult myself, frankly. I don't find it easy. To actually, once I'm dealing with Stephen Miller, once something, wicked this way comes, if someone who is very good at lying, if I'm going to try to inhale that media somehow, I find it difficult to take it and really understand what's happening. With Stephen Miller, he creates such an immersive hoax with the way that he frames language. And when possible, situations entirely. But the bandwidth of terrorism is being jumped up and down upon. And I think woke is essentially love your neighbor as you love yourself. And we shouldn't have to argue about whether kindness is a virtue or whether kindness is something that we're protecting. We shouldn't have to pull up something like indoctrination to say, in fact, indoctrination is about limiting. And the limits and what is being made space for in the culture of Project 2025, in Stephen Miller's world and Kevin Roberts' world, it's white supremacist patriarchal terrorism. It's damage. And what Russ Vogt is working to bring back is simply an all-out attack. This withholding of communication is truly criminal. It is truly sabotage. What possible end does this serve except to destroy people? We're being shaken, and we'll be contused, and people will die. We're being shaken like someone has picked up the planet to shake it. How impressive. And eventually, once someone comes and rescues it, it will be torn from this malicious hand by someone who's nicer. And I don't know that we're going to recognize that that's also Donald Trump's hand. We're in an abusive relationship. We can't say he wouldn't do that. There's no possible reason to literally terrorize people, and we are being terrorized. There's no good reason to create damage to human need, especially already promised. It's truly dishonorable. It's cowardly. It's punitive. And Russ Vogt, it's not surprising. Russ Vogt has talked about terrorizing people, essentially. And Kevin Roberts essentially said he could shoot someone in the street so long as people got out of the way of the bullet. It wouldn't be bloody. We're dealing with terrorism from people who have organized well to take over the government. These are bad faith actors. Kevin Roberts is not a well man. You don't create a network like this like Heritage and Project 2025 and America First without being a bloodthirsty criminal. He's worked through organization to entrench racist, bigoted murder and violence. He is a bad human being, and he should be arrested. Stephen Miller has been a part of Project 2025 for a long time, and until recently it was searchable on the name database that you would find America First Legal. Russ Vogt has talked about wanting people to be terrorized, wanting people to be traumatized. Russ Vogt is taking exactly that kind of approach right now. He hasn't been confirmed, but it seems really clear that he is here to hurt people. Why is that valuable? Why would it be valuable for anybody there's definitely an initiation with Trump. You need to want to be abjectly cruel. You need to be a rapist or someone who has protected predators from accountability. You need to be willing to decimate people's lifelines. You need to be able to wage war against people in your country. Russ Vogt is doing just that. He is a deeply racist, bigoted person. We should not have invited the vampire back in. We will have a difficult time, but what we should do is eject him now. We should arrest all of them. That is what we should do. The insanity of Marjorie Taylor Greene's measure to declare a fictional organization. I've never met a member of Antifa in my life. To declare a nondescript boogeyman, much like Nancy Mace's bosom buddies situation. To declare a nondescript boogeyman that you then map onto who you choose as your villain. Scapegoating and how media has responded. It's one of the most telling things about some serious degradation that's already happened, because when people have worked along with Stephen Miller in the bandwidth of Russ Vogt, we're seeing conscious malice, wanting to traumatize, wanting not just to separate families, but to strategically, well, at least claim that you have lost track. You've lost the data so that you can't reunite people that you've separated. These are butchers. Policy to stop lifeline support, policy to terrorize people, that you can do this to people, that this is how anyone should ever be treated. These are menaces to society. They should be arrested immediately. If America defends itself from tyranny, then booby trap actually. Booby trap actually, thank you very much. Booby trap actually. Did we not learn anything? We don't have to take this tyranny, which it is. It's crime. It's matter of fact fucking crime. If Russ Vogt is successful in gutting everything, that he is simply coming into clear cut, which means human lives, which means potentially more new enslaved people, more new displaced people, more new enslaved people in private prisons, more refugees, victims of Russ Vogt, treated as the criminals in their houselessness. These are Ku Klux Klan criminals finding their fingers in gloves of power. They should be arrested and stopped. I keep hearing that Donald Trump assures everyone that he has the power to do this. The press secretary is saying, we refer you to this document that would say that the president indeed is legally able to do this. Who gives a fuck? How many different razor chopsticks the president may or may not use to redo someone's hair for them? Why are we doing, would you rather? This is terrorism. This is tyranny, and we are being terrorized by a tyrant who we should crush. We should hold to their face that they will leave, or crush they who would topple the new Colossus. It is madness. It is just blitzkrieg. It is blitzkrieg. Stop this madness. The truly unhinged the truly adversarial idea of calling a fictional anti-fascist organization a terrorist organization. Does anyone know if she is officially part of the Klan? Of some sort of affiliation there? It seems pretty clear. But I don't see another eventuality outside of we're looking at the Ku Klux Klan. It's the Confederacy. It's the Confederacy. They're Confederate sleepers. It's the Confederacy. It doesn't make it less important to stop it. Like, it definitely doesn't make it less important to stop it. I think it's good to identify what it is. In order to tell it shushaby. Shush, Russ, shush. We may be past shush, but we'll start with shush. Anyway, so I've made a few calls, but there's a lot more to do and a lot more to suss. I think we should have taken it before now to say it is what it keeps gaslighting us that it is, that it's not, that it is. But, you know, things get missed sometimes. I think we should clock now that Russ Vogt is definitely a Project 2025 architect. And that their plan is, it's Nazi tyranny. And it's really not even just up to us. We need to stop Russ because he is a danger to himself and other people. And I just don't think it's safe or sane to let people wave around weaponry in the street that's going to maim people and end lives and likely stop our ability to steward human habitat. So, shushaby. You know, just shh. That's Russ Vogt. VOUGHT. Russ Vogt. He's trying to be the new head of the OMV. Russ Vogt. He wants government workers to live in trauma. I guess unless they're MAGA, or is trauma still mandatory? So long as you're signed on to inflicting trauma? How does that work? Russ Vogt is a dangerous person, I think. I think people who have a passion for finding ways to punish people and not leave a mark until they can finally just get sanctioned to leave a mark and sign it and shout their name from the rooftops. I think there's a problem there. I think we're dealing with predators finding ways to hurt people. And predators finding ways to enslave the less fortunate, to enslave those who society victimizes. That's truly horrific. These are the worst people in the world. Russ Vought is a horrific human being. We shouldn't entertain this nonsense. They say that they're Christian as well, which is just insane. You don't have to be Christian to appreciate the idea of showing essentially the golden rule, or of valuing awareness enough to treat each other with care. I don't think we're dealing with someone who wants to have a friendly conversation. You don't try to hurt and terrorize people unless you want to have the right to hurt and terrorize them. I keep thinking of the first press conference the first time around. Why you would lie. What is the purpose of coercing people to accept a lie?
I made a speech. I looked out. The field was, it looked like a million and a half people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there. Nobody standing. It looked like a million. I made a speech. I looked out. The field was, it looked like a million and a half people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
The new White House press secretary, Sean Spicer, gave his first press briefing. He was also highly critical of some media organizations of the way...
One more time. There we go. Why?
I made a speech.
Lie.
I looked out. The field was, it looked like a million and a half people. They showed a field where there were practically nobody standing there.
The new White House press secretary, Sean Spicer, gave his first press briefing. He was also highly critical of some media organizations of the way he felt they had misrepresented the number of people who'd attended Friday's inauguration ceremony.
No one had numbers because the National Park Service, which controls the National Mall, does not put any out. This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
It does not excuse, and you did not answer the question, I did answer
No,
your
you
question.
did not. You did
Yes,
not
I
answer
did.
the question of why the president asked the White House press secretary to come out in front of the podium for the first time and utter a falsehood. Why did he do that? It undermines the credibility of the entire White House press office
No, it
on day
doesn't.
one.
Don't be so overly dramatic about it, Chuck. You're saying it's a falsehood, and Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts to that.
This was the largest ever.
That was strange. small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, may you grow. Bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Calling new Colossus. Calling the ominous, obvious. Colossal response. At least a clear, peaceful attempt to adopt. At least a peaceful attempt to love. And let liberty not be lost. I may need to do the hat. I have what they call, strangely they call it photophobia. And I suppose I am afraid of light. But only because at certain times it's really painful to be around physically. And it coincides with migraines for me. It's not like that for everybody. But I'm 50 and I'm special. Let's see here. Yeah, I think it's time to take a pause. I love you, and I'm in love with you, and I'm in liberty with you.